Another tool used for making selections that are not of perfect shape is what we call the lasso tool. Okay, we have three types of lasso tool, and you can see the three of them by right clicking on the lasso tool. Now it is the third tool from the top of the tools panel. So we have the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. Okay, we're going to take one of them. We're going to take them one after the other, starting with the lasso tool. Now the lasso tool is used for making irregular selections, and it is always good for those that knows how to work with the mouse, that knows how to draw with the mouse. Okay, now to use the lasso tool, I have an image right here, and to make a selection using the lasso tool, I'll just make a rough selection around the image. Now to do that, you click and drag. Now once you start dragging, your hand should be on your left mouse button, okay, until your selection is complete, okay, until you are done with the selection. Then you can release your left mouse button. Okay, now what am I trying to say? Once you start making a selection, hold your left mouse button. Okay, if for any reason you happen to release your left mouse button, then the selection joins from any part you stop. It joins to the beginning of the selection. Okay, so that is why I say it's always good. It's good for those that knows how to draw with the mouse. Okay, so if you're not a fan of drawing with the mouse, I won't recommend this particular tool for you. Okay, maybe in subsequent video I will talk about the polygonal lasso tool and the magnetic lasso tool. You might like to use one of them there. Okay, so now I'll just select that, and I'm going to make a rough selection. I don't like this tool because I'm actually not a fan of drawing with the mouse. So you see, I am just making a very rough selection there. But that is how the lasso tool is being used. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say here. So you can try it on your own. Everybody is different. You can get a different output more than myself. You can get a better output more than myself. Like I said, design is from the mind. So that is how to make a selection, and then you can do whatever you want from here. Maybe you can move that selection away, and one thing or the other, do anything you want to do with the selection. Okay, so let's look at the next selection tool, which is called the polygonal lasso tool. Now I like using the polygonal lasso tool because it respects the user. Okay, fine, all the tool does respects the user, but the polygonal lasso tool, I love it so much. Okay, now what the polygonal lasso tool does is it has should I say, it works like a pin. Okay, now you move your mouse to a particular point where you want to make a stop. You click to put a pin there, or to pin the selection there. Now once you pin the selection there, you discover the selection will not be movable at that point, so that you can move a little more and then make another pin. So you pin like that little by little until you get a full selection. Okay, now I love using this tool because it makes it easier for me to work with as compared to the lasso tool that we treated minutes ago. So here you walk very gently, and you don't have to draw across, but you cut bit by bit until you make a full selection. So now I've made a selection on one side of the arm, or of the body rather, and you see that once you bring the mouse back to the starting point of the selection and click, then it joins the selection. Here you don't have to hold your mouse button all through while you make your selection. Okay, and then from here you can move your selection or do whatever you want to do with your selection, like we did minutes ago. Okay, so that is for the polygonal lasso tool. Now the magnetic lasso tool, like the name implies, works like a magnet. Okay, here it also works like a normal lasso tool because you click and you make magnetic selections. Now it's a kind of sensitive to the area where you are selecting. Okay, so once you start dragging to make your selection, it's a kind of try to get the difference in colors between the area where you are selecting, and then try to put its selection on that particular area where it dictates a difference in color. So that is how the magnetic tool works, and then it drop points automatically like a magnet or two magnets that are trying to join themselves together, like unlike magnets, or magnets with unlike charges. Okay, so it kind of drop its points automatically like that. As you make your selection, it gets that point and then it drops points there and makes the selection until you're done making your selection, and then it joins. Okay, so that is how the magnetic tool works. I am not a fan of the magnetic tool also. I don't know about you, you might want or like using it, but as for me, I think I'll just stick to the polygonal lasso tool. Now there might be some cases where you might want to use any of these tools. Now just practice them, learn how they work, and in the next video we are going to be talking about the quick selection tool, which is another very good tool that I love using while exploring my graphic work. See you next.